Welcome back to Pitt Beyond the Script alongside head coach Jeff Capel, Rob King. And coach, I want to pick up some of the conversations we're having about your young players. For them, and I think a lot of fans don't understand this, these guys are stepping into something totally different from high school. The grind is different, the academic workload is different. What can you call upon from your time as a freshman player that can empathize with these kids and help them get through this?
You know, you talk about your experience and just how you were able to push through. I was very fortunate as a freshman. I wasn't relied on as much as the freshmen that we have here. I was a good player and I played good minutes, but we had the best player in the country on our team that was a senior in Grant Hill, who had won 2 national championships, had all the experience. Another guy, Antonio Lang, who had been a part of starter on 2 national championship teams. So I had the luxury of having someone show me the ropes. For us as a coaching staff, we're having to do that with these guys. And so you bring them in, you talk to them, you watch tape with them, you try to point out, like a guy like Trey McGowan's who's struggling. You know, really what's happened is that you've become the focal point. Trey has become the focal point of a scouting report. That's something that wasn't that way. So teams are preparing to try to take him out. And they've done a pretty good job of that the last 5 games. We have to continue to help him and put him in positions, and then he can't get down on himself. That's an area of growth, you know, and so we have to rely on those experiences that we had as college players, me and my brother, particularly in the ACC, of being guys that were freshmen that played a lot of minutes on good teams.
Is another part of the freshman growing process consistency? I mean, I think Pitt fans can look, boy, if you could take this game from Terrell and this game from Xavier, we could beat anybody.
I think that's a big part of it. And again, we don't have a reference point as the young men on our team. They don't have that. And so they're figuring all this stuff out on the fly. And we had a little bit of success early. You know, we were able to win 2 games against 2 outstanding opponents. And then we had some almost games. And the last game against Florida State, I thought it may be the best game that we've played on both sides of the floor, and we were able to win that game, and then you start a tough stretch where and that's the other thing. You know, the last game, you know, we're at Syracuse, you have Duke at home, you're at Louisville, you're at Clemson. You know, we were talking, you know, Clemson has 5 guys on their team out of their top 6 that are college graduates. So these are men, these are 23, 24-year-old men that you're playing when we have 5 guys that are new. This is their first time playing in the ACC. And so that also hurts a little bit too. And so the teams you're playing against are good. And so we have to keep pushing. We have to keep fighting. We have to keep encouraging. We have to stay positive, and we have to do it together.
You were a head coach, assistant coach, head coach, step back to an assistant coach, now a head coach again. What experiences have you learned this time around for you as a head coach that you're trying to impart to your kids? What's been different? What things have you tried to do the same? What things have you tried to do differently?
Well, I think I'm a different coach. I think I have a lot more experience, you know, especially when you go through adversity and you go through failure. You know, getting fired was very hard, but in a lot of ways it was good. You know, I learned a lot, and going back to Duke especially and being there for 7 years and having a chance to watch and to learn, I learned so much. And so you understand it's a process. And you're going to have growing pains, but you have to fight. You have to fight your way through them. My career prior to coming here at Pitt and prior to going back to Duke as an assistant, to be honest with you, was a little bit of a fairy tale. It was abnormal. I was an assistant for 2 years. I was a head coach at 27. I was a head coach at a high major at 31. And my 3rd year there, I take a team to the Elite 8, and we finished 5th or 6th in the country, whichever poll you looked at. I hit some adversity. I think all those things have really helped me grow as a man, grow as a coach, and help better prepare me to help the young men that I'm coaching, you know, as we face adversity and as they face adversity.
In the meantime, I believe you're the only staff in the country that has as many head coaches as assistant coaches. How does that help you? How does that help the staff?
You know, it helps a lot because they understand what it's like to sit in that seat. You know, you don't understand it until you're in it. I mean, and it's a big difference. I mean, I look at the last 7 years and now, you know, it's different. You know, it's very, very different. And you forget about it because you've been in the other seat for 7 years. And so to have people that have the experience of being a head coach, that know what it's like, they can rely upon things that they went through, things that they did. I want them to have the freedom, you know, to coach. You know, I don't want them holding back. If they see something, speak up. Those guys are really good on the court with guys. They're really good watching tape with them and helping them get better.
You obviously talked about playing at Duke, being an assistant at Duke. Is that the benchmark program? Do you look at Pitt and say, okay, we're here. Is Duke where you want to get to? Is that kind of a template for you?
You know, I think it's the model program in college athletics, to be honest with you. You know, you have a man there that's had unprecedented success and sustained success in almost 40 years. And if you look at it from 1984, from 1984, and here we are in 2019, they've been to the NCAA tournament every year except for one, and that's the year that he was out. And so, you know, if you look at winning and how they do it and things like that, I think it's the model program in all of college athletics. And so certainly, and for me, it's a big part of my DNA. So certainly it's something that I look to. But there are other outstanding programs. There are other outstanding coaches that have had a sustained level of success in different sports. And those are things that I've looked at as well.
Appreciate the time.
Thank you.
All right, stick around. We have more to come here when we return on Pitt Beyond the Script.
Have fun being together. And for 40 minutes, fight together. If we do that, we'll win the game. Fight together. All right, here we go. Come on, go. Family on three. 1, 2, 3. Let's go.